stop getting into fights on the tennis court. Follow these 5 etiquette tips and you'll make more friends than enemies. Joe here from PH Tennis, and I'm here today to help you stop getting in fights on court. Yes, I'm going to take you through the key principles of etiquette when on a tennis court. These are essentially behaviors, the things that are expected, whether you think they're right or wrong. These are the parts of the etiquette, the ways of behaving that are going to mean that your opponent doesn't get really angry with you. Hopefully they're just going to get angry with you because you're beating them. That's what we want, not because essentially you're being, I'm going to call it tennis rude. So without further ado, let's get started with our first etiquette tip. Now, I am British, so I am very adept at apologizing, and this is a key skill in the etiquette game on a tennis court. So if you strike a net cord and benefit from it, even if you don't, in fact, if the ball clips the net cord and affects your opponent, a hand up will do, but an apology is necessary. The same goes for a mishit ball that maybe goes for a winner, or smacking the ball right at them, catching them unawares, maybe striking them with the ball. Always just a hand up, an apology. And also worth just noting that like a tree falling in the woods if no one's around, if they don't see your apology, you didn't apologize. Make sure they see it, the hand up. If you're in England, sorry mate, and on you go. But you apologize for a net cord, you apologize for a mishit, you apologize for anything where you've gained an advantage by fortune rather than your own skill. Simple as that, and if you do it, no one will want to fight you. Another way you can avoid a fight or an argument on court is to pass the balls back nicely. Sounds really straightforward, but if your opponent is getting ready to serve, maybe it's the end of your service game, maybe you're just passing some balls back because they've run out of theirs during their service game, pass them back nicely. Don't slap them back at them, don't whip the ball down there, pass them back to them. Underarm, little float, little pat over the top, sending the ball towards them, but not at them. You don't want to put them in the corner, you don't want to make them chase the balls, that would be rude as well, and might cause them to hate you. We want to pass the balls back to them. If we do send the ball back to them and they are not aware that it's coming their way, maybe they've got their back turned, maybe you put it a little bit too close to them, you just let them know, just shout, one coming, something like that, just to let them know. But pass them back nicely, don't blast them, don't put them in the corners, keep things friendly while we're not playing so that we can be ultra aggressive and unfriendly when we are playing the points. Sometimes when you're playing tennis, it is very difficult to call the ball out correctly. You're running, you're trying to get behind the ball, trying to play the right shot, trying to see what your opponent's doing, put your tactics in place. So calling the ball out sometimes can go wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're cheating or your opponent's cheating, but if you do think a mistake has been made by your opponent, remembering that it's always their call on their side of the court, if you do think a mistake's been made, let's be polite about it. And it's a very simple process. They call the ball out and you disagree. You don't throw your racket at them. You don't shout and moan and complain. The first thing you do is you say, "Are you sure?" From there, most likely they're probably going to say, "Yes, I'm sure." And in reality, what you have to do then is just get on with it. As frustrating as it may be, and as hard as it may be to do, that it's their call, you have to get on with it. It might be that they say, no, I'm not sure actually, sorry, I was traveling really quick, I'm not sure, what did you think? At which point, the best option is probably, unless they're going to give you the point, the best thing going forward is that you replay that point, you essentially play a let. But do it politely, ask the question, "Are you sure?" and then move on. Screaming and shouting and complaining about it is only going to lead to more conflict. And we want conflict to be between ball and racket, not between two players. If you are sure they are cheating, what can you do? We get asked this quite a lot. You could just scream at them. Tried it, not always the best. What you could do is just start cheating back. They're calling balls out that are clearly in, you do the same. You could then have a conversation, say we can keep doing this and carry on in this madness, or we could both call the lines a little bit fairer. Up to you. Calling the ball out, managing the game in that sense is a difficult thing to do, but we want to make it as clear as possible to our opponent what has happened. We don't want any grey areas. We don't want them to think the ball's played. We don't want to have an argument about whether the point is still going on, anything like that. We want to be very clear. So when the ball is out, we stop playing if possible. Sometimes that's difficult because it's all happening very quick, but we've got to do one of these three things. Stop playing, call the ball out, and raise your hand. Essentially, because if you raise your hand, They can see you, they can see that you've called it out. If they didn't see you, they'll be able to hear your call, and if you stop playing, there'll be no doubt about the fact that the point has ended. One of these three things will do. All three is perfect. Again, just for that clarity, just so that everyone's on the same page, nice and clear, nice and simple, no more fights. Now then, people's service motions and the time between their serves is precious. You need to preserve that as much as possible for goodwill, for good etiquette, to keep friends on the tennis court, not make enemies. If there is an unintended interruption to their service between their first and second serve, there is an opportunity to give them their two serves back. This could be a ball from another court coming on, it could be something being blown across by the wind, it could be anything, it could be something that you do, you drop your racket, something like that. Anything that stops them, that interrupts their rhythm, that causes disruption to their serve, very good etiquette to say, take two, or have your first serve back. That way we all stay friendly. There is a fantastic example of this happening, much to Daniil Medvedev's anger at the US Open this year, where the umpire gives two serves back because a photographer came on court at a very crucial point, and Daniil did not like this. But if you're playing, you want to avoid fights, you want to keep making friends, keep this etiquette in mind when your opponent is serving. So there you have it. Those are my 5 key tips for better behavior on a tennis court. No more smacking the ball at people when you want to pass them. No more arguing about line calls because you learned the right way to do it. No more getting angry opponents because you failed to apologize for either clipping the net, for mishitting a ball, for smacking them with the ball. Apologize and it's all fine. We are British after all. If you follow these 5 tips, you will make more friends on the tennis court and far fewer enemies. And who doesn't want that? Tennis is a fun sport, it's a social sport. We don't need any more enemies than we already have. Take it from me. As always, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.